Sponsored by Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome fave with shafafa on the side.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. I'm Mike Mayo, coming to you from the studios in Dania Beach. Still dry here, a little bit overcast, but there's no need for kayaks or canoes yet in my neighborhood. But you never know. It's early. Jeff DeForest, how does it look up in your parts by the beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea?
I got a little slit there in the curtains. Not raining. A little overcast, but not overwhelmingly so. So maybe an opportunity to get out there for a little while before it starts pouring and lightning again.
Lubie,
lightning was hovering overhead all day yesterday, and it barely rained. That was a weird thing here in Lauderdale by the Sea.
Out of that heat lightning goes a long way this time of year. Lubie, well, we might as well complete the weather reports. How's it look up in the northwest corner in Coral Springs?
It is a very nice, hot day so far. We'll see. Yesterday, we actually got some rain finally because the last week or so, we've gotten a lot of overcast, but no rain. Yesterday, we did get some rain, so we'll see what today holds.
Well, now that we got the meteorological reports out of the way, this is thrilling stuff. Anybody have anything good for lunch or food stuff? I don't know if I have much of an agenda today, but I do. Actually, I did make a return visit to one of those polarizing places in South Florida that the Let's Eat South Florida people love to, debate. A place known as Le Tub in Hollywood.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, nice.
I went there last night with my brother for the first time in a while. First time eating one of their acclaimed burgers since a change in ownership last fall. The long time, well, it has a very unusual history, that place. But do you have much experience with Le Tub? Because when in my early days as a sports writer, I basically lived there every night after games when covering a ball game. It was the greatest place to go because the kitchen was open until 3. The bar, the drinks flowed until 4 a.m. They had a pool table. They had a great jukebox, and it was a really good local scene. So that was in the late 80s, early 90s. It was my hangout. But ever since it got acclaimed by Oprah and all the tourists started pouring in, I kind of stopped going for a while. But it's still there and still kicking. But you guys ever have any Le Tub experience in Hollywood?
Ate there many times. I want to say years ago when I was closer to that location in terms of where I lived geographically, and spent more time cruising through that area. Then there was a long hiatus. I had a couple of so-called business meetings there. I want to say going back 4 or 5 years ago.
Is that what we called her? A business meeting?
No. Actually, it's a funny story because a neighbor of mine, that's where he got nailed having an affair. He was taking the woman that he was seeing to Le Tub, and he got caught red-handed there, and he had to go with the woman, what woman? Thing. So that was not necessarily one of his favorite places or destinations after that. But well, maybe it should have been. But I always enjoyed it. Oprah made the burger famous. I don't know that you can ever live up to those kind of expectations. And that's the kind of thing that the Let's Eat South Florida people feed on, where somebody declares is not only the best burger in town, but in the universe. And then people go there and go, well, I don't know if it was the best. I went to some place in Missouri or whatever. But always very pleasant. I don't know, when did the ownership change take place? Because I want to say that a few years ago it was still under the original ownership. Is that not the case?
Well, I could give you the long history of the place, but basically a new restaurant group that has a couple of places in Hollywood bought out the existing ownership in October. They officially took over, I think it was like October or November of last year of 22. And they've spruced the place up a little bit. They took they've changed some things around. Number one, the bathrooms there are now closed down for, I don't know if they're completely being remodeled, gutted, redone, but if you need to relieve yourself and go to a tub or a urinal at La Tub now, you have to do it in a porta potty in the parking lot. They set up some of those, actually a trailer, not the construction site ones, but the step above that you see at some of the golf.
Oh
and tennis
yeah, the
tournaments.
racetrack. They have it outside.
Yeah,
Or they used to,
trailers.
yeah.
Well, the some of the tracks that are under construction, actually, they're not tracks anymore. They're not going to be any harness racing there. But yeah, a lot of some sports venues have those kind of like trailers. But anyway, they set up in the parking lot now these temporary bathrooms at La Tub, but it's still decorated with all these empty commodes and tubs that they use as planters, potted plants, and but they removed, much to my chagrin, they used to have a of all their press clippings and various stories and things through the years, including a couple of my columns about La Tub, including after it was featured on Oprah. And actually, it was the one who proclaimed it the best burger in the country was the food critic for GQ magazine. His name was Alan Richman. He's a former sports writer, baseball writer. I think he worked for the Philadelphia Inquirer for a while, covered the Phillies. I think he was originally from Montreal and might have covered the Expos at one point.
Then he worked down here.
No, I think you
That's
have
a sports
him,
writer, Alan Richmond.
You have him confused with Peter Richmond, who
Oh,
was
maybe. I don't know.
great features writer, sports writer for the Miami Herald. Alan Richmond never worked here in Miami, but
All right.
he was he had a sports background, he had a food background. He also had a father who was elderly, who lived in a condo in Hallandale Beach, and one of their rituals was every time that Alan visited his father, they would go to La Tub for a burger. And that's where he first discovered it. And then he went around the country and ate like 250 burgers at various locales and proclaimed La Tub's the best. Now, there might have been some nostalgia at play because it made him think of his father. But at that time, it was actually a really great burger. I mean, it was definitely in my top 5 in South Florida, and one of the best, I thought, in the country. Through the years, it has its ups and downs, but the origins of La Tub, it was a gas station that then got converted into this bar, and it was really like a Key West vibe, locals only place, and it was owned by a guy named Kornruth or whatever, and he didn't even live here. He lived up in the middle of the state. And he had a couple of his like managers who he really trusted. It was a cash only establishment. I don't know how much they skimmed through the years, but they were they were honest. And this was the neat part of the story. The original owner, Kornruth, died in like 2000 and I'm gonna say like 8, and he left La Tub, the ownership, to like 3 managers. It was a husband and wife that got like 50%. The other 2 got like I don't know, 10 or 15%, and then some of it was left to his girlfriend and his lawyer. So it was unusual that a restaurant would actually be left to some of the longtime employees and managers. Those managers, a couple of them moved on and got bought out. One of them passed away, Matthias, rest in peace. He and the other guy, John Petrie, were like a married couple. One of them would work the bar, the other would work the grill, and they would just bicker back and forth all night. It was a great place. And anyway, the other couple that had the controlling interest in it, Steve and Robin Seidel, they sold out to this restaurant group that also owns and operates Gigi's Waterfront in Hollywood, along with Tiki, which used to be Jimbo's. And so now they have this trio of restaurants on the water, on the Intracoastal and Hollywood. And La Tub, sad to say, it wasn't the same. It wasn't like it used to be with my meal last night.
Now, did you talk to a manager on your way out?
No.
And let
You
them
know
know
why?
that they had fallen off?
So I wanted to go back for a repeat.
Oh, wait. This is your line of questioning from yesterday. I mean,
Well-
you didn't pull somebody aside as you were leaving and getting in your car in the parking lot and say, hey, listen, this place used to be great, but it sucks now.
I didn't say that. Okay, now you're putting words in my mouth. It didn't suck.
No, but I mean,
It
this
wasn't
is
as
what
bad
you were
as-
presenting to me about this whole Myron's thing yesterday.
Well,
and
you made it seem
you were
like
relentless. I mean, about, hey, well, you
was.
shouldn't be talking about it if you didn't talk to a manager.
Well,
I'm
here I
applying
am.
your same logic to you from yesterday's
Right.
show.
But I'm not saying everything was terrible. I'm not saying
Okay.
it was sucked. I'm saying it's not what it
But you're
used to be.
disappointed. She ain't
I
what
was
you.
disappointed. If you want
Yeah.
me to get into the nitty gritty, because a
Yeah,
lot of
what's
the things
about it?
were on the kind of like nitpicking side. So I always used to get the spiced shrimp. They had these like a shrimp boil, and it was kind of in a Key West vein where it was with big whole peppercorns and cloves, like different herbs, and it was peeling each shrimp, and it had all these aromatics, and I think they even boiled it in a bag with some lemon peel, and it was just it had this really wonderful aroma, and then you would pick apart the shrimp and you could dunk it in cocktail sauce. Uh, and that was always one of my go-tos. Well, last night, I ordered the shrimp, and they were fine. It was a big portion for $24, but they've changed it to like an Old Bay. It's like Old Bay shrimp, and which is fine, but it's not the way it used to be. And it was also overcooked by say like 2 minutes. So it's like nothing I'm going to start sending back, but it was a little bit firmer than I like in my shrimp. But again, not terrible, nothing to alert the authorities over. But they changed and tweaked the recipe, and it's not the way it was. So that doesn't need any kind of
Yeah, you may have
manager.
ordered wrong though. They're famous for their burger. What do you think?
Well, here we go.
Did
I
you
went
have
out
one?
with, yes, of course.
Okay.
This is Mike Mayo. Do you think I didn't order the entire?
Oh,
lunch
so you
on the
had
menu?
an entree, a $24 entree first, and then a burger. I like that.
I went with Burl Mayo, my brother.
Okay, all right.
My older brother. A
Surf and
rare
turf then?
dinner meeting.
Yeah.
We ended up getting the shrimp to start. We split a burger, and then he was hungry.
Split a
and he-
burger.
yeah.
Wait. There's
wait.
never a time.
But he
that you
wanted
go
a
and
hot
split
dog.
a burger. Oh,
So
okay.
we got a hot dog. And they have one of these big grilled jumbo hot dogs. That was
All right.
$8. That was okay
Right.
and it was good. The hot dog was good. The French fries, which were not good. They just weren't cooked enough. I mean, and used to be they would come out nice and crispy, and you didn't have to say well done. These came out; they were just limp, and they used the steak fries, the really wide,
yeah.
lumpy
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, I love
There's
steak.
nothing
Those are
worse than
great.
kind of a limp and mushy steak fry. It's just like a whole bunch of mealiness in your mouth. But and then the burger itself, which again, an impressive hunk of beef. It's 13 ounces. Very big. The way they have it at Gilbert's, those big hockey pucks. Well, Gilbert's is 8 ounces. This is 13 ounces, so it's even like bigger. But the buns they had were a little stale, and they used the Cusano's. It's a local bakery that supplies a lot of restaurants. But for whatever reason, the bun that we had, when we cut it, it started crumbling apart at the top. And so I don't know.
I can't believe you didn't inform your
I
server, or
speak to management.
call a manager over, or maybe even phone the owners. From your table.
The reason why is because I'm not writing about it, but I am talking about it.
Oh,
here.
listen to you, man. I mean,
I'm
you
the
put me
biggest
through
hypocrite.
all of this crap yesterday about this Myron story, and then you're guilty of the same thing because it probably it wasn't something that met your satisfaction, but you weren't going to stop somebody and grab them by the shirt and say, "Hey, listen, the place has really gone downhill."
I didn't say. Okay, first of all, you made yours.
But
out
you're
to
on
be-
the air on a large.
Yeah, you're right.
platform.
No, guilty.
114,000 people are listening to you whine about it.
I'm a hypocrite.
No,
Okay.
You are a hypocrite.
But we are
Of
a nation
course.
of hypocrites. I mean, we're
Yeah.
going to be led by a hypocrite again soon. But that's
I don't know if a hypocrite is a strong enough characterization of what's about to happen here.
liar,
Yeah.
thief,
Yeah.
criminal. Some was saying we're currently being led by a hypocrite, and I am glad to see that Joe Biden finally acknowledged his granddaughter that he refused to acknowledge last week. But that's
Hey,
another
you don't have to
story.
fall into that trap where you got to condemn Biden because certain
No,
former
that was
president
wrong.
is running again.
You could just it's not false equivalency because I'm saying Trump is much worse than
All right.
anything Biden's ever done. But
We don't want to
Biden
go
is
into
not
that
a saint, and his family is okay. Now I
I'm
got
just
into-
surprised that you didn't pull a manager apart or ask to see somebody that's running a place and say, is there any reason that I shouldn't go ahead on Let's Eat South Florida and the Mike Mayo Lunchbox show and say that the place ain't what it used to be?
So, what it used to be?
I love when you're
Before-
backing up, man. You're now you're backpedaling to the wall. Is your
You're-
mother
you're-
home? Maybe she
I'm
can
not
catch
what
you.
I used to be.
Yeah.
You're not what you used to be.
But
We're
that's
all not-
fair. See, this
No.
is what I was trying to tell you yesterday. It's fair to give this judgment because this is your opinion.
Can I try to wiggle out of this now?
No, because
you
you crucified
completely-
me about this Myron's thing, and I didn't call a manager, and I'm just not the type to bellyache to a
You
manager.
completely destroyed the place. You called every dish that arrived in front of you
That was true.
inedible,
Yeah.
horrible.
You said the shrimp
what-
were limp and that the
No.
bread
Now
was
you-
stale and the bun was
Lubie,
no
can
good.
you correct
and
him?
all
What
of
did
this
I
other
say?
stuff.
The
You
shrimp
guys
were
both did the same thing. That's what I
Basically, so far you gave a team review about
never
how
s-
the hot dog was good. I mean,
I never
that's not
said
a glowing recommendation.
I never said the limp. I never said the shrimp were inedible. I said they were overcooked a little bit.
All right. Well, to me, that's inedible.
The French
you didn't
fries
want
were
to-
the
I
French
don't want a
fries I
bunch
left.
of shrimp.
French fries were limp.
French fries were horrible.
burger-
Hot dog was fair.
The bun was stale. The burger meat itself was like it was okay. I mean, we ordered it medium, and it came out more medium well. But
Oh,
you
well,
never
that's
want to
not
go
good. That's
under
not
there. But I didn't send it back. You know,
Well, what is the deal now? Is it really that awful to have a rare burger? I mean, honestly, is that something that's
depends
going
on
to
the
kill
meat.
you?
It depends on the meat. When it's that much meat, and I think they
'Cause I
used
want
it-
my burgers rare or on the rare side, at the very least. Closer to medium
at
rare,
places
than well
like
done or whatever. Yeah.
at Tropical Acres at their happy hour, they serve sirloin burgers. Sirloin you can certainly eat rare. It's a good grade of meat.
All right.
At Gilbert's, our friends there, and we have to pass along good wishes to
You could eat that
Lenora
raw. It
Gilbert.
could be steak tartare, and it'd be good.
Yeah, they use the certified Angus beef, and it's good quality meat. You could eat that rare and medium rare without any problems. La Tub, I'm going to say that they use now this blend now, and it kind of looks like I don't trust it rare. I would eat it medium rare
Oh, yeah?
with a little
Wow.
pink in the middle. And that's a long time thing. That's not with the new ownership, and that's my other issue with the tub is it's been inconsistent over in the last 10 years. I found it like sometimes I would go and was like, yeah, that's the burger I remember, and sometimes it was like, so like for me now, it's not necessarily an indictment of the new management, although they have tried to kind of slick things up and they've redone a couple of touches. But they've maintained the same essence. They've kind of the menu is the same. They have the same signature items on there, and they're not ridiculous. That big burger is $14.50. That's not
it.
terrible.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
I mean,
Is the same old guy in the parking lot that handles the parking lot?
it's not Richie. It's not the guy that used to be
Yeah.
the one of the Dolphins. He's. I hear that. I think he's either in declining health or
This
passed
guy was
away.
old years ago. The last time
Yeah.
I was there.
But there's another guy in there because the parking is no longer free, even off peak times. You got to pay $2 to park in the
right.
parking lot, and he hits you up. And I end up throwing him $3 just because you feel bad for people and say, "All right, here, take the extra."
I don't know that the Let's Eat South Florida group could tolerate that.
No, they
$2
couldn't.
Parking
They
charge.
would be just going crazy on
Yeah.
that, especially off peak hours. But where was I? So I've had inconsistency issues there going back.
You
I'd
ever
say
spoken with anyone? Like, did
I
you
have
do
to
no
say-
management
Oh,
there?
yeah,
It was
when-
inconsistent again.
when
Yes.
Matthias was alive, and I complained one time to him about that the burgers seemed a little bit like they would pre-cook them so they didn't have the big hour wait, and then it's just when you pre-cook the burgers and throw them back on the grill at the end, it's not a good result, and that's
It ain't
not
the
the way
same.
they're meant to be. And I have a suspicion that might have been the way it was last night because they came out pretty quick and it was pretty crowded in there. Let me tell you, for a Monday night, and again, they get a lot of traffic from that Margaritaville resort across the street. So every booth and every table was almost filled at about 8 o'clock on a Monday night in the middle dead of summer. And, they were banging out the burgers. I have a feeling that a lot of them were pre-cooked and then finished off. At the end of the day, I've had better burgers there. I've had better burgers at many other establishments around town. I doubt it would crack my top 10 burgers in Broward anymore.
Wow, not even top 10.
But there's a pull of nostalgia there. And, overall, like I came home and my brother took home a piece of key lime pie, which they were famous for. I didn't want any key lime pie, but he brought it back to Tracy. And the report I got from him was that it wasn't as creamy as it used to be and a little bit more gelatinous. Gelatinous was the word
Gelatinous.
that he used, which I said was a very effective use of the word gelatinous, and that the crust, there wasn't as much of the.
So that sucked
Graham
too, in
cracker.
other words, is what you're saying.
Now, you're
Did you
putting
have
words in our
anything good
mouths.
there? Nothing.
Again, never said it sucked.
Shrimp were off.
It's just
Fries
different.
were bad. Hot dog was fair. Burger was overcooked and not the same.
I'm
And
not
the
saying
key
I'm
lime pie had gone downhill.
gelatinous and not as much as the crust as
Wow.
that they remembered. And he sent
Not
me
a glowing
picture.
recommendation, Mike Mayo.
So my
Was it
daughter
an off
said,
night for the chef, perhaps?
I
Maybe you
sent-
could have got to the bottom of that.
I sent pictures to my daughter of the meal, and she said, "So how was it?" And I said, "I think they should rename it instead of Le Tub. It should be Meh Tub." Meh.
Oh my God! Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play?
So guilty as charged because I
Yeah.
didn't talk to
You
anybody
should
on
have
the
done
way
so.
out.
And this is a place that you
Oh,
have a certain emotional commitment to. I mean, it meant a lot to you in your
Well, I
past.
think I was going to go back and give it another chance, and then I'll do a write up on the Let's Eat group, kind of a formal
Oh,
review.
jeez.
This
Yeah.
was just an initial.
I bet they
taste
can't wait to
testing.
see that after hearing this dissertation.
I don't know. You think anybody's going to point this out to them? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't know how popular you are. I mean, look, you had the whole thing where the babes were chasing you around to all of our remotes. Now that you're sort of semi accounted for, I mean, maybe that has lightened up a little bit. But the people are looking for your reviews here on Let's Eat South Florida, no doubt about it.
right. So out of fairness, I will
I would,
return again.
based on what you've said, if I knew nothing about Le Tub, I would not be inclined to go there. Just based on your review here this morning.
But
Yeah,
let
and-
me stop you from talking to management. It's these are cost cutting choices. You think so? In a sense, you talking to them is really not going to do anything because I feel like that's what Defoe's issue was. Is
No,
the
I
company what
don't
they've
even
been
know
doing.
about cost cutting because the quality of the shrimp was good. The meat wasn't maybe the same as it used to be, but it's been inconsistent, and the meat that they've been using has been a little bit different for the last 10 years. The early days, I remember it being just like ground sirloin with a little bit of chuck in there, and that's what it was on the menu. And lately, it seems more of just kind of, I don't want to use the words pink slime, but maybe more of that just kind of
Oh.
regular ground meat.
You went from hey, we're having a slightly off night to pink slime as a description
no.
of the burger meat.
I'm talking about some of the burgers in the recent past before the ownership change, but I'm burying myself.
Oh
on
my God! And not a
Sometimes,
peep to the server or the management about any of
helping
this,
yourself
Mayo. After,
Yeah, it was just really.
I mean, it's still ringing in my ears at your cross-examination. I felt like, I was Mr. Fung on the witness stand in the OJ case.
Okay,
What do you
let
think
me-
about that, Mr.
I ate
Voice?
every piece of everything. The hot dog was
Well,
good.
that is no
The hot
surprise.
dog was
I mean,
good. All right, I didn't eat all the
then it's
fries.
really tough to complain too when the plate is empty
Right,
and you've licked
yeah,
the
this was
ketchup off.
terrible.
Yeah, that's hard.
No, the fries I did not
All right.
finish. My brother did. My brother eats anything. We call him the human trash compactor.
And it should be Mikey likes everything, right?
And
He hates everything.
But Mikey, well, I don't know what Mikey does. Hey, did you see who chimed in on the Let's Eat group this morning looking for a good Chinese restaurant in Palm Beach County?
I did not. Dickstein.
No. And it says legit. It's really him. He lives here in Delray Beach now. Mason Reese. Does that name mean anything?
Oh yeah, Mason Reese. Yeah,
Reese. There's I guess a certain generation.
long time ago performer, right?
He was a child actor who appeared in a lot of commercials, and I remember these commercials from growing up. And
You sure it's
redheaded.
the same guy? I mean,
It is. It's definitely
they had a
him. 'cause
picture. Okay.
Yeah. No, I've looked it up and it reconfirmed that it is him. He was looking for a Chinese restaurant.
And what did he find?
No, I mean, the only one who gave him in Palm Beach County is a place called Real Wok it's in Lake Worth.
There's a place in Boca been gaining some steam. I meant to mention that. Is it Lisa's or something like that?
No, it's
or
called Red
something
Pine.
with an L.
Red Pine.
This one starts with an L, and they've
Oh.
been getting favorable reviews to the point where I'm almost thinking it would be worth going out of my way. It's in Boca Raton somewhere.
Okay, well, this Red Pine is getting a lot of positive buzz. It's in Boca Raton, but it's one of these more upscale places that supposedly has some good Chinese food, but it's more along the lines of the Rainbow Palace. And I
Scott
think-
says Lester says in diner.
So the Chinese restaurants that Mason was looking for was what you call the authentic New York, like the Chinatown, what you see.
Which you say doesn't exist, though.
The New York. I didn't say it doesn't exist. I say it exists. There are traditional Chinese restaurants that have good stuff all over Broward. Real Wok has some dim sum, and it's kind of like the closest in Palm Beach County to what I think people are looking for when they allude to the New York Chinese. But the ones that I told them, you have to kind of take a trip down to Broward to find some of the places that would maybe satisfy those people looking for that particular thing. Places like Hong Kong City Barbecue in Tamarack and Silver Pond in Lauderdale Lakes and Hong's Barbecue, which is my new spot in Davie near the casino on Sterling Road. And but what I told Mason Reese, because one of his first commercials that made him most famous.
We got to get the guy on the show here.
New York area was he did that thing what was it, deviled ham, somebody's deviled ham, and I told him I don't know any places that have deviled ham, and I don't recommend any Chinese buffets, also known as Borgersmords. Now, there's the inside joke. A Borgersmord, he mispronounced smorgasbord on that deviled ham commercial, and that's what made him famous. So, Borgersmords, I
He
don't
was a
recommend.
strange looking cat, as I remember.
He still is,
Oh, okay.
at least
All right.
looking at his Facebook
Yeah,
profile. So,
he was an unusual looking guy.
yeah, and kind of redheaded and chubby and
Almost cartoonish.
cartoonish, I guess you
Yeah.
could say. But he's around here, and that's really him.
Get
And
him on the
so
show, invite
I'm
him
gonna
on.
try. I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll send him a DM. And you know why he would fit on the show? Not just because he pitched Deviled Ham.
Because he has a clown like look.
No, because he actually his second career after he gave up acting was restaurateur. He owned a number of restaurants. In
Oh,
New York
yeah.
City. Yeah.
I don't see how you, how did you whiff on this opportunity? You're like a late inning Marlins hitter right now. I mean, just
It's
swing and a miss.
it's not over yet. He put this post up this morning. I had a
All
little
right. Well,
banter
I would have jumped on
interaction.
it. Lubie would have had
Yes.
him on the show this afternoon.
Well, no, I like a little foreplay there, Defo. I like to,
Well, we don't need to know
I'll
that.
send-
but-
I'll
and there you go, embarrassing your girlfriend.
No, stop that. I didn't mean it in any kind of literal sense.
Not
I
involved.
meant it in the sense that, whether it's developing a relationship with a
Conversations.
restaurant or somebody that's a friend, it's like, all right, you have a little interaction, then maybe you send a friend request, then you send, hey, I have this show, and maybe you'd like to come on. I don't want to just like go.
Maybe he's watching it now. I mean, if he is, I didn't mean to impugn
Doubtful.
the integrity of how handsome this gentleman is. But yeah, looking for authentic Chinese. Well, there's a surprise, Mike Mayo, and I'm surprised that you didn't immediately trigger some uproar
Well,
on the site there. That there is no such
my
thing.
first comment, and this was at like 6:30 this morning. He probably put it in the bin last night, but I was like,
He had no idea what he was.
he had
getting
no
into,
idea
right?
what he was getting to. I said, look,
Yeah.
I said, the very nature of this post triggers a lot of people, both New Yorkers and non-New Yorkers. And ordinarily, I would tell you to use the search bar function in the group, but I'm going to grant special Mason Reese dispensation and actually answer your question.
Celebrity
Yeah,
disposition. Yes.
so,
Now, let me ask you this though. I mean, why wouldn't a Woe Hop or something just open up a joint down here and satisfy everybody?
have.
That okay, here you go. Here's New York Chinese in South Florida. There's no reason that we can't make the food taste exactly the same. And all you guys have been fetching. I mean, since I live here over 40 years, that's all you ever hear. Yeah, you can't get New York Chinese down here. Well, why wouldn't some New York entity? I mean, we're seeing this, all over the place right now with this New Haven pizza. You got a zillion places from New Haven coming down here. Why wouldn't some Chinese restaurant from New York, from Chinatown, establish itself here? They would kill it. I mean, people would come from all over to buy their food. No,
Well, so here's what people don't realize is that many New York Chinese restaurateurs, people of Chinese heritage and descent, have moved here and opened up restaurants after having many successful restaurants in New York, and one of them being Mainland China Bistro in
China's
Coral
great. That
Springs.
makes a lot of sense.
okay,
And
is that the best
they
one?
specialize
They're
in
nicer. It's a little higher level.
higher level, nice old big
It's really
big
good.
dining room that has several different styles. They specialize in Szechuan, but they also do Peking duck. They have a
Peking duck's
huge
great.
kitchen that has all kinds of different stations. But the gentleman and his wife who opened it have a string of successful restaurants in Chinese restaurants in New York. And I'm trying to access the article I wrote, and for some reason the Sun Sentinel never lets me in, even though I pay them hundreds of dollars a year, and even though every time I try to go on their site, I re-enter my credentials. So Sun Sentinel, this is one of the frustrations of trying to look up something and it's not remembering me. But the bottom line is this husband and wife that opened up Mainland China Bistro have like 6 different restaurants in Manhattan and Queens. So they are New York Chinese restaurateurs, and they do things the same way down here. And if you go there and order the Szechuan things, especially, it is like the authentic New York.
So you can get it.
Yeah,
in.
it's good.
I've been saying that for years. It's just you got to know where to go.
Oh, all right.
It's not
and-
a small.
I mean, every time somebody uses the word authentic and they associate it with the Chinese, you make a face.
Well, it's not takeout. Like you're not gonna go and get takeout there. Like this is a sit down plate. I mean, maybe they do
All right.
takeout, I guess, but like it's a huge dining room. Like you're
the
gonna go
mis-
sit down there. Like that's what mainland is. I don't know.
the
if that's
mistake.
why people miss it, like because it's not, a countertop, one table. It's a little different than that.
The mistake people make there is they go in and they get their Americanized Chinese food, whether it be like the sweet and sour chicken or something like that. And that's not a place for this. This you want to get like the spicy, like the noodles with twice cooked pork, the chungquing chicken, which is like a Szechuan peppers with diced chicken dish. It's
Chungking? They
Chungquing.
serve
Not
Chungking there?
Chungking,
Oh,
Chungquing. It's the name of a
all right.
city in Szechuan. I don't expect you to know these things. You just always butcher it. And now I finally could get in.
Remember that little can of noodles on the top? Did you ever, eat that first? And then
Never.
your mother comes to cook the chow mein and she says, "Where's the noodles?" And you're already eating
Yes,
the thing?
Chungquing.
No? And you had to pull it off with a little band. It was attached to the
I
can.
always eat the crispy noodles first when I go to
Yeah.
Christine Lee's or Christina
Yeah.
Wan's.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to have fistfuls
All
of
right, the
those.
name
No
of the
question.
dish is Chungquing, which is a name of a city in Szechuan. Chungquing
All right.
crispy diced chicken with hot chili peppercorns. When I wrote the review
That's
for the
your
Sun
recommendation?
Sentinel,
All right.
it was $16.95. I imagine it's up to like $21 by now. But there's all kinds of things. I'm gonna here. Let me read a little bit because I might as well kill some time. But like I said, when one crunches on the lightly battered cubes of fried chicken showered with the dried chilies, a dish called the Chongqing chicken, or when you chomp on marvelous plump prawns bathed in hot oils with chilies, minced pork, and sautéed asparagus,
How stoned when you wrote
a
these
dish
articles for the
known
Sun
as
Sentinel?
Chengdu
This is great.
spiced shrimp, a gentle euphoria unfolds. That's because Szechuan spice is subtle and incremental,
Oh my
working the
God!
way a dab of dental numbing gel does.
These
Numbing
these
Joe.
articles are
Eventually, pleasurable endorphins will be triggered along with beads of perspiration. Relax, eat some
You,
white
you, you
rice.
compared their dish to dental numbing
Well,
gel?
the sensation
I would hardly consider that flattering.
the sensation that the Szechuan chili peppercorns produce is, like I said, it.
Think about it. You wrote
Yeah,
that?
and I said the
It's-
pleasurable
You didn't
endorphins.
plagiarize that off some other
The
critic.
pleasurable endorphins that
like
follow,
poetry.
Defo. I said you have to just
Pleasurable
relax, eat some white rice, take a cool sip from a goblet of sangria or a lychee martini, and enjoy the ride. And
Oh my God.
sometimes a rub of peppercorn might go down the wrong pipe and deliver a throat-grabbing burn. But it's just best to keep eating and drinking and power through. It's also best to come with a big group so one can order a full range of dishes and sit at a big round table.
Wait a minute. You're recommending going to a restaurant with a large
I am
group?
such a hypocrite today, and
Man, you are so full of
Now it's
crap
open
today.
to
It's so
4,000
beautiful.
people.
Yeah.
It's
and
perfect.
and I wrote this.
You're bitching about the tub, and you never said anything to anybody. And this flowery language that you used in this article is, yeah, I mean, it's phenomenal. I think it's very revealing. I mean, it sounds like something that you would, reveal to a shrink. About your
Oh,
place.
well,
So,
I
yeah.
now that my shrink is retired, I have to do it in all kinds of ways, especially on the show.
But it's well written stuff. I mean, it sounds good. I guess I would go there for. I don't know about the dental numbing.
Do you want to hear
technique.
more, including the New York background of the owners? Mainland China Bistro opened in February 2017 in the former home of a Tony Roma's rib joint, not Tony Romo. It was born of frustration and desperation. Tiffany Huang and her husband Tu Yu Huang, they own a successful collection of Chinese restaurants called Ollie's Noodles. It's a mini chain. Have you ever heard of Ollie's Noodles in New York?
No, don't know Ollie's
Because you
noodles.
left New York in the 60s. How would you know it? It came up of age in the 90s and 2000s.
Left in the 70s. Did spend some time. I mean, Wo Hop was always the destination. Everybody
Well,
named as, hey, this is the
Ollie's
place that you have to go on.
Noodles.
I would imagine there are other comparable places right around there. No,
Well,
I mean,
but-
was Wo Hop really that big of a standout?
A lot of people have emotional ties to that because of all those great times that they got drunk and
It was down in
didn't
the
fall
basement
down the
there.
stairs, or maybe fell down
Yeah.
the stairs and still were able to eat their drunken dishes of shrimp. And
What
black
was
beans.
it that much, in your opinion, just honestly? I mean, was it that much better than any other place?
No, it was just
Wo Hop.
people were drunker, and it has all this allure.
No,
I was
okay.
always a New York Noodle Town guy. I told you that. New York Noodle Town
All right.
didn't have to stumble down the flight of stairs. It was right at street level, right at the corner of Lower Broadway, and right across the foot of the Manhattan Bridge there, I guess. And I like New York Noodle Town. They did a salt and pepper baked soft shell crab dish that was fantastic. But anyway, Ollie's Noodles is a
right.
well-known chain in New York, and these people, it was the couple. They said when they couldn't find a good Chinese restaurant in Northwest Broward, they decided to just open their own.
Oh,
So
that's
that's what
fine.
they did. So
There you
Yeah.
go.
that's the thing.
I have to read that article, man.
It's
The
really
rest of
good.
it should be a
We haven't been
hoot.
there in years, but I
Yeah.
guess we went when it was just open because we went, I think, back in like 2017, 2018.
And how did we burn 37 minutes? You guys do this to me every day.
Well, because I mean, your first ridiculous thing, you set yourself up for that, which was, that no matter what, when you're dissatisfied, you need to call it to
Oh, what's
somebody's
funny is at
attention
the
so the
beginning of
restaurant can
your late tub,
improve.
you were right. You weren't as scathing
Yeah.
as Defo, but the more Defo grilled you,
Yeah,
instead
the
of
more I buried myself.
yeah,
I should.
The more critical and outraged you
got
became about
more.
yesterday's rip-off meal that you
I'm
had.
gonna use. It was almost $100, including tax and tip.
It's two guys having a
items.
burger.
A
All
A
right,
burger,
nice.
a hot dog, a French fries, a basket of
No
shrimp,
drinks.
one beer for me, one vodka soda
beer.
for my brother. $81 with tax. You throw on the $17
All right,
tip.
you gotta
Maybe I
throw
just
the
make
20,
it an even
yeah.
100 with the parking. So that's it.
Right.
So,
This is so bad.
am I calling it a ripoff? No, I mean,
No, it's just fun. You didn't even mention anything to the guy when you were getting your car, like as you were getting in your
what's he
car,
gonna
saying,
do about
not
it?
only did the place suck, but it was $2 to park.
And there was a manager guy. He was like a big burly guy that you could tell was kind of like this kind of corporatized because now that they own the three restaurants. But what am I going to do
Was he sticking his chest out?
on the
Was he
way out?
proud
I'm
of-
going to say, it just wasn't as good as it used to be.
Well, I mean, look, you crucified me over this yesterday with the
I mean, I
Marist
could have
thing,
just,
which,
I could have said, why were the buns stale? Is it because you kept the bun bag open all day, or was these Fridays buns and you didn't get a delivery today? What does it matter?
I'm sure that would have endeared you to the
It was
manager
a
as you were
stale
leaving.
bun. I mean, there's nothing you can do
Possibly
about it.
not to
They
come back.
served the stale
Are you going to give it
bun.
another chance?
I don't want
That's the
another
question.
bun. The bun is gone. The burger is gone. It's all gone.
So you're thinking like a logical human being now, and instead of like, like I said, you were like Barry Sheck yesterday. It was unbelievable. And I'm the last guy
Because
that's
you
going to
use
go out
words.
of my way to call a manager over because I'm
You use
willing to
words
forgive and
like
forget.
you used words inedible, horrible, sucked.
Well,
I didn't
I mean,
say
you
any
come
of those
close,
words in
yeah.
relation to the meal last night. I just said everything was.
Because you were busy, doing the psychedelics like you were when you wrote the article about the
I
Chinese
need some
place.
psychedelics after this thing. Hey, can we talk about our friends well, let's start with Dine Out Lauderdale. It is August 1st. The time is here.
It's game on,
Game
dude.
on, dude. And we got a couple of good ones lined up, remote shows, that is, to celebrate the start of Dine Out Lauderdale, which, of course, is taking place from now till the end of the month, August 31st, at restaurants, over 100 throughout the county. It's in 18 different cities all over, up in the Northwest in Coral Springs, down near me in Hallandale and Hollywood, a lot of restaurants taking part. And of course, in the Central Corridor. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Union Kitchen and Bar, which is a really nice husband and wife run restaurant.
Oh, wait, I got to write that down.
Independent
Make sure I get
restaurant. I'm
that.
going to send you the address, Defo. But tomorrow we'll be tasting some of the delicious food, and they have a great wine list there. Roberto and his wife, they do a great job at Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors. They are part of the Dine Out Lauderdale festivities, where if you look online at dineoutlauderdale.com or visit lauderdale.com/dineout, you'll see all the full roster of restaurants, and you click on it and you'll also see the menu offerings. And in the case of Union Kitchen and Bar, I believe it's $45 for a great 3-course meal. Includes an appetizer, main course, and a dessert. We're going to be checking out some of their great dishes tomorrow with them. Next Wednesday, on August 9th, we're going to be going to the Foxy Brown in Fort
Nice.
Lauderdale, and that's part
Very
of the
good.
Be Nice restaurant group. Elliot Wolf and Merv Javoda, they do a great job, and they really are nice people. They live by their slogan. So we're going to be we just set it up. I got confirmation today that we'll be
Nice.
at Foxy Brown in downtown Fort Lauderdale. They're also taking part in the Dine Out promotion, and it's not just restaurants with the 3-course dinners. It's also places at Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor offering their kitchen sink for one. That's something that's never been done before. There's places that have like brunches and coffee shops. I think Cafe Max, I saw, is running a Dine Out Lauderdale brunch service that I think it's $35. It includes Bloody
Wow.
Marys. I'm not sure if it's bottomless Bloody Marys or one, but a full range. It looks like they have a nice.
At 35, I would imagine there's a limit on it.
But I think they're going to have like a buffet or a choice of some dishes. Cafe Max, one of the great restaurants in Broward County, been doing a long time in Pompano Beach, all part of the Dine Out Lauderdale festivities. And we here at the Lunchbox are really proud and excited to be part of it. Go out, enjoy, eat, explore, go to places that you wouldn't ordinarily go to, and of course, some of the places that we love going to, like Even Keel Fish Shack. I see that, they are offering a 3-course dine out dinner. That fish tea that we got to sample, which is
Yeah,
lovely.
that was great.
I mean, that's like you're talking about gourmet. It is. It's
That
upscale
was gourmet.
gourmet food, but in a really relaxed beachfront setting with the frozen drinks. But you could get either that. I think they're going to be offering one of their. It's another one of their seafood like crudos as an appetizer. For the main course, they're offering the swordfish that we got to sample. That with
That
that
was
cashew
delicious.
butter, that was great. Or my personal favorite is that clams carbonara over the linguine, the pasta with that Benton's ham, the bacon. Oh my God, that's a great dish. So all part of the Dine Out Lauderdale festivities. Go check it out, dineoutlauderdale.com. And you can't tell them the Lunchbox sent you, but I guess you can if you go somewhere.
Why not?
Just
Yeah,
say
you sent 'em.
Lunchbox, say Mike Mayo, and just say that Mike Mayo. What a hypocrite!
That was unbelievable, man. What you put me through yesterday, just talking about a cheeseburger. All right, we're coming back with more here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox in a moment.
Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all: Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Back on the Lunchbox. I just can't believe how much time we've already chewed up. That's what happens when I start reading my old pieces. Maybe I'll do that every day. That could be
No.
kind of go into the treasure trove.
Storybook time with Mike
Some-
Mayo. We'll change the
some
name
of
of the show.
some of the better descriptions. Tom T appreciated my description of the Szechuan peppercorns. He says that's actually a very good description of the flavor.
Couple
Anyway,
of things to get to, though, and actually, you touched on this thing we're going to be doing tomorrow, Wilton Manors.
yeah.
And this, I saw this elsewhere, but I did see it subsequently on Let's Eat South Florida. These 3 restaurants that are kind of Wilton Manors classics that I guess are getting mowed down because the
We do
land
need
was
to-
sold, and then the place in Boca is called Lisa's Kitchen that everybody's saying. is
Lisa's
good.
Kitchen. Okay, Lisa's Kitchen.
Power
I
Line Road,
don't
yeah.
know anything about. I've been here seeing a lot of buzz about Red Pine.
Yeah.
So Lisa's Kitchen is another one, I guess, to check out. But I'm always leery of you know what? I don't even want to say it. Boca restaurants always inevitably disappoint me for some reason, but maybe that's unfair.
You
Maybe
you didn't mention that to Louis
That is
Bossy when
cool.
you were sitting with him.
Exactly.
Sucking down his free pizza there, Mayo. Come on.
That's because the restaurant started in Fort Lauderdale, and he
all right.
spends a
Now
lot of his time.
Now
at the
it's
Fort
okay in
Lauderdale.
Boca. All right.
All right.
Anyway,
wait.
yeah, but what's the story on this? I mean, these are fabled places, according
Well,
to you.
it's this really funky little area that was, I don't even know what they officially called it. It was like a little garden oasis that was stuck behind all this, the roadways. And to find it, you had to know it was there. But it was a coffee shop called.
So
The
it was a
Alchemist.
little hard to find.
It was a little hard to find.
All right.
Coffee shop called The Alchemist. It was a French restaurant called Voulez-Vous Cafe. And then I guess there was a taco Mexican place that's changed different names and concepts over the years. But the latest iteration, I guess, had been there for a while. A taco place that I've never eaten at because, whenever I was there, I would always go.
You don't like Mexican food.
Not the
I
big
think
A huge Mexican person.
But
you're
besides
not
that,
going out of your way for a taco, man.
it had a very popular area where, like, my daughter or kids in their teens would go back there. It was like a place that you could Instagram. They would have like different. I don't know if it was a garden area, flowers, like a wall of like ivy and stuff. It was just a really neat nook and a good, cool spot. And then the Sun Sentinel gave us word yesterday that apparently all the shops and restaurants there have been notified that they're on borrowed time. A developer has bought the land and plans to knock down the whole complex, put up a high rise, but build also a public space, a garden park, dog park, and have room for restaurants. And apparently some of the restaurants might be coming back in that same location, but it's not ever going to be the same. Nothing is ever the same. La Tub's not
Well,
the same.
and I would imagine
Other
it would
places
take a while
aren't
for
the
their
same.
comeback.
Myron's is not the same. So that upset a lot of people, but this is the price of progress when you live in South Florida, because there's not one piece of land that as historical as some things might be, or as beloved as others might be. It's all up for grabs usually. That's the nature of things. Hey, I wanted to send along good wishes and get well soon to Lenore Gilbert, our friend at Gilbert's.
Yeah.
She's been tied up with a little health issue.
It's the best.
And, it seems like this month, a lot of people get nicked up. I mean, Pat Utter at Shenanigans, he's on injured reserve. We're hoping he heals up with his busted up shoulder and back. He's still healing up in Quebec in the cool Lake district up there. And hopefully we're going to do a show at Shenanigans later in the month. I know he's chomping at the bit to talk Dolphins and preseason. And Gilbert's will be going in there for our monthly visit at some point later in the month, and we hope Lenore is there and gets back to business
She
soon.
carries the show when we go
She's
down there.
tremendous.
She's great. Yeah.
I'm a huge
She is
fan.
one of those
You
tremendous.
are relegated to just amazing people with your ability to consume food and how you do it, and then Lenore really carries that whole show. I
She
enjoy
puts me
being
in my
out there.
place. She
Yeah.
keeps me humble, and I love it. She's the
Yeah.
Jewish mother that all of us maybe never had or should have.
We've
Or in
all
the
had-
case of I have like 2 or 3 of them. But Lenore-
And maybe in the process of gaining another one, I don't know.
so that was we just want to send along good wishes, and the best way you could send along the best wishes is to go out to Gilbert's and get yourself a
Check
burger
'em
and
out.
show some support, because Beth Ritchie and Beth's husband Corwin, the chef, they are manning the fort and doing things, and it's the same great burgers too. I tell you what, I mean. And again, I wasn't just saying this because these people pay me, but last night when I was eating my stale bun burger with kind of meat that was overcooked at that restaurant last night, I looked at my brother. I said, "You know what? I'm not saying this because
He was
they pay
trying to
me,
Gilbert's.
but Gilbert's and Shenanigans Burgers both put this one to shame."
That's the
And
thing.
that's true. That's my objective opinion. I mean,
Look, landlubbers, and again, they do pay us as well. But I didn't know what quality they use, but they don't. You say medium rare, they make it medium rare. Like they will make it as rare as you want. So I guess that means they must be confident in their quality of meat, because their burgers for a sports bar place are as good as any burger you'll have. The burger.
now, don't get me wrong. La Tub will cook a burger to rare if you want. It's just the one I ordered, medium rare, came out closer to like medium
that's
well.
weird.
But
I'm not-
that's one of those things that often happens, is the disabused art of being able to cook either a burger, steak, or fish properly, and it's one of those things. Happens all too frequently, along with my heartburn from consuming God knows what for breakfast. Defo, man, it's 12:53. I got to do another break. We got to talk about Tropical Acres. Did you go in last night, or maybe it can entice you and the Mustang to come out tonight and get a couple of lobsters?
Wow, that would be nice. It's possible. No, Mustang went to an In the Biz party yesterday at the Bamboo Beach Tiki Bar, which I heard was out of
nice.
control. Yeah.
I can't imagine that at Casa Calabria.
You got like
Ocean
300
Meadows.
female bartenders for the most
Tiki
part,
is
and a
crazy.
couple of guys mixed in. That had to be crazy. But no, we didn't get out last night. But any time would be good. I really would. I mean, Tropical Acres, for my money, is not just the money aspect of it, but first class all the way. I would be willing to pay higher end prices to eat at Tropical Acres. That's a tribute to how good it is.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still the lingering pleasures and the endorphin rush that I got from our visit last week. There I go with my flowery stoned language again. But
I
that's
wish
my
you'd get
rib.
back to using more of that on the show. I mean, it's much more sophisticated than the usual content of the program.
Tomorrow I'm going to be on my best behavior because it's a really lovely couple that run Union
Yeah, but
Kitchen
that's
and
another
Bar.
hypocritical thing of yours.
Yeah,
I mean, just be yourself. That's what people want.
Well, no, with Jack last week when I was with him and Joe and
Jack,
Jackson,
you were afraid.
I
you were
had a
gonna
fork and
act like
knife,
a
and I
fool.
was
Yeah.
cutting up the prime rib. And man, that
You had
prime
a
rib
little
was
napkin
so
in your
good.
shirt. Yeah, it was
Of course,
unbelievable.
as soon as they left the set and I was left alone with those twin lobsters, I started tearing them up like it was an
you didn't
assault.
even
I could've
you ate
gotten
the shell.
charged.
Yeah, you even
It
ate the
was-
shell.
So, but you can get all these great deals at Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road, the $39 twin lobster special all summer long. Comes with a salad and a side dish. Of course, the different various cuts and sizes of their world famous prime rib, filet mignon, different cuts. I love the special cut, and sometimes you can get that wrapped with bacon if you are a bacon lover. All these things at Tropical Acres just makes it so special. The value, the hospitality, service, selection. Go in there. They're open every day but Sunday. They also have a butcher shop if you want to run in and pick up a couple of filet mignons to throw on the grill at home. That's at 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. But the dining room, well, you got the bar opens at 4:30 for their happy hour, where you get the half price drinks and all the great light bites. Got the early bird special at 4:30 to 5:30. Got the regular dining room opens for service at 5:30. You've got the loyalty reward club card that you get 12 entrees. You purchase those and you get the 13th one on the house. So many things that makes Tropical Acres the special place that it is. Go in since 1949. They're doing something right. You should check it out if you've never been. And if you have been, and if you are a fan, what's holding you back? It's time to get back. Like me and Defo again and Lubie. Check it out. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're going to come back, wrap up this edition, a quick edition here of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Hopefully,
How did that go?
you can, well, because you started quoting from this article. It was great. Dig up some more articles and just go out the door with some of your flowery language. I think that would be, I mean, it's Shakespearean almost.
We were supposed to talk about sauce and all the sauce charges that caused the stir.
Well, fetching, Mark,
okay.
fetching.
All right, enough.
All right, we'll come back. We'll say goodbye in a moment.
Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. This August, Visit Lauderdale invites everyone under the sun to indulge in the annual Dine Out Lauderdale promotion. This year's options will be more diverse than ever, with fine dining restaurants, casual eateries, and even your favorite cafes and ice cream parlors part of the mix. From August 1st through 31st, scores of restaurants will be offering multi-course meals at discounted prices starting at just $45 per person. Diners can also enjoy sweets and treats, brunches, happy hour specials, and exclusive culinary experiences. This year's lineup includes 3030 Ocean, Foxy Brown, and Lasso Gaucho in Fort Lauderdale, Even Keel Fish Shack and Aruba Beach Cafe in Lauderdale by the Sea, Cafe Max in Pompano, The Cook and the Cork in Coral Springs, Union Kitchen and Bar in Wilton Manors, and more. Restaurants are being added by the day. For the full Dine Out Lauderdale lineup and all the details, go to dineoutlauderdale.com. Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. With a huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, daily specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site, happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. It's serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Back on the Lunchbox, and before we wrap up, I got to put in some good words for our friends at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Did I mention that I had delicious duck the other night? And that was from Delaware.
Yes.
It was a whole ducks, 2 of them that were not frozen. They were fresh, and they came out delicious. And that's what you can find at Delaware, the freshest quality and choice and selection, whether you want poultry, chicken, duck, turkey, want meat, they got the great steaks, they got pork tenderloin and pork chops, and of course, they are known for their world famous seafood and fish. Everything fresh in from the Gulf and local waters, and then also from afar. I mean, sometimes they have that great wild salmon from Alaska. Sometimes they have cod from New England. They have the Ipswich clams. Whatever you want, it's there. 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, right across from the old Seminole Classic Casino. We've got our date set for our monthly visit. It's going to be August 24th, a Thursday, as usual. Don't know what we're going to have on the menu yet, but what you need to know is, even if you don't feel like cooking, run into Delaware, because you can go the grab and go route. They have things, whether it's their fish dips and there's salmon dips, or their roasted chicken, rotisserie chicken, or they'll steam up a whole lobster for you, or crab cakes, so you can have yourself a nice dinner without all the fuss and muss of cooking. DelawareChicken.com is the place you go to look for the daily specials, the weekly specials, and the daily offerings. We love them. We'll see you out there on the 24th. All right. Before we conclude today, I just want to hit you with one more paragraph of my past writing. And because I know you do, people used to love when I did the, kind of savage takedown reviews, Defo. And again, I guess this goes with the way I love Mexican food. But the headline to this piece, and are you familiar with? It's called El Vez
Yes,
it's actually in the W Hotel in
I
Fort
didn't like
Lauderdale.
it the first time I had it. The second and third time it was better.
Okay, Defo, have you ever been there? Or you?
I don't recall ever being at El Vez. No.
Okay, it's at the W Hotel. It's kind of right next to where the Steak 954 is in the middle of the
Yes, right
hotel.
next to
El Vez is on the corner there. The headline was, "My disappointing night at El Vez in Fort Lauderdale ended with a trip to Taco Bell."
Wow. Talk about a
So,
scathing indictment, man.
I basically said there was a procession of disappointing and disastrous dishes that was matched only by the growing indifference of the service. The chicken
the growing
enchiladas.
indifference to the service. Nice.
Yeah, it
Yes,
started off everyone was very thrilled about being there, the servers too, and then it just kept getting worse and worse.
Wow.
The chicken enchiladas were a mediocre mess with mealy masa surrounding flavorless shredded chicken and glops of cheese and sauce. Steak El Vez, a sliced cut of flat iron steak, was overwhelmed by its spicy chili rub and overcooked way beyond the ordered medium rare. Let's see. And the shrimp taco platter should have qualified as a Superfund site. A heap of coated fried things surrounded by fried hard taco shells that left us all shaking our heads in bewilderment. Cut up chunks of what the menu described as, quote, honey chili marinated shrimp tasted old and reeked of iodine, coagulated with orange, habanero, radish, and charred salsa. It was the worst restaurant dish I have tasted this year.
Wow. Wow.
Super fun.
I think you ought to leave on that note there. Nothing like leaving on a high.
Super fun site.
Are they
Is
still
that
in business, El Vez, or
Since
did
you go
you
back
bury
there,
them enough?
I
You're like
think-
Jeff Weinseer here with that Krabby
I've never
Krabby.
been back. I
Talking
would
about
imagine they
yesterday.
would,
Like
they
it.
would come at me
Wow.
with cleavers and whatnot. But
Burial City.
yeah, that was not. But it was expensive. That's the thing. And then I ended up going to Taco Bell and I got one of those great gorditas or something like that. It was fantastic.
All right. I got to take this telephone call.
Take
so
the
we'll-
telephone call.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see everybody tomorrow at Union Kitchen and Bar. Remember to enjoy every sandwich.